Welcome back to SocksOutRacing as we cover Race 2 of the Spec MX-5 Open, which took place on June 27, 2015. This week we're at Summit Point, and again the weather was warm as typical as the summer series is. Temperature was 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and we had a north wind at 9 miles an hour. So the track was again a little on the slick side, but it wasn't quite as slick as it was last week. This week's top qualifier again was Eronam with 125.941, and the strength of field was a 2049. So still quite a field we had. There we got Eronam and his teammate Johan sitting right there on the front row as we get this race underway. We had a couple of newcomers this week. We had Rob sitting in the number 6 car in the green and black livery there, and then we also had Trip Smith running in the LL Bean car you see in the number 28 car. Hero's sitting there taking an early lead. Johan checking up a bit, and looks like Mark having a little bit of trouble there on the outside of the line as we go through turn 1. 17 car dives underneath and sits right there behind Rob. So we already got a battle for third starting up, but we haven't even gotten to turn 2. Speaking of turn 4, here we go up the uphill king. No major drama, which is always good, and we've got battles all throughout the back of the field here. Mark's starting to put a little bit of pressure on the 17. So the 17 is pulled away from the 8. Starting to reel in the 6 car, or at least it looked like he was. Now he's backing off. Looks like the 6 just gets a little bit better out of there. That is one section when the track is slick, coming through that back part of Summit Point. It's real hard to keep the power down even with these little MX-5s. The car can get just a little bit wayward, and you have to just ease up, and that little bit of easing up turns into a huge loss as you start getting down towards the last few corners. Start lap 2. We're continuing the battle for third. Looks like the 8 car is just kind of sitting it back a little bit more. Just kind of wait and seeing what happens with the 2 in front, which is probably the smarter way to approach the situation, considering it is a 30-minute race and a lot of time for things to change, and this leaves things interesting. But even though he's waiting for the right opportunity, he's still within shot, so if something goes wrong, he's right there ready to pounce. The 17 again putting the pressure on as we go into this tight rear section of the course. It's quicker through these hairpins, it looks like, but he slows down when he comes out. I'm thinking it lies mainly to not being able to keep the car as planted coming through these last few corners. Down the back straight, you see the leaders going by. You see that gap just quickly spreading between first and second and third and fourth. So as we're picking up lap 3, you can see the field kind of spreading out. You got a battle back there for 6th position, it looks like, as well. So lap 3, the 17 has been hounding the 6 car for the better part of the first 3 laps. Oh, and there goes the engine. Downshift a little too early, and I put the 17 getting towed back to the pits, so a 8 car gets a free pass. Well, it looks like the battle for 5th just heated up with the 17 pulled off. It bunched those 2 cars back together, so we got Tripp in the 28 car, and then you got Horsley in the 00, battling it out for 5th position. Horsley going on the outside, getting the lead there, but it looks like Tripp just backed out, giving him the position. Oh, Horsley goes wide. Tripp goes a little bit wide to make sure there's room for him to get back on track, and so Horsley's position gain was a little short-lived there. So the 00 has to fall back again and look for a position to try to get that position back. But I don't think the 00 is able to catch back up to the 28. It's later on in the race. His car just seems to be falling off, and the gap just starts growing quite rapidly. So as we go on to lap 4, it looks like Horsley's got a little bit of a run on the on trip there in the 28. Braking hard in turn 1, Horsley looking to the outside, but not enough speed to carry through, so ends up making a slower exit, and the gap again widens. The 00 is really pushing the car hard in these last few corners. Oh, getting up on the curve on the inside a little bit. It's always kind of a risky maneuver with these cars. You get a little bit too much curb in these high-speed corners, and the car can get all awkward very quickly. There he goes, jumping the curb again. Normally when drivers get aggressive with these, they tend to run into trouble later on. Well, I just have to wait and see what happens here. '28 car just running a better line there through the S's, and oh, Horsley cuts just way too much through that high-speed right-hander, and well, that pretty much gives the 28 car some major breathing room. By lap 5, the 17 car rejoins the field, and Steve tried to grab an extra set of tires and didn't work out so well, so it put him a lap down. Ended up not being a wise move in the long run. I think he was trying to gamble on having some extra traction late in the race to gain back some time, but it turned out the time to change the tires was not worth the time gain. So we see him here just trying to pick up the pace and make up some of that lost time as he chases down the number 8 car. There's definitely spots the 17 is a bit more stable with a few of these corners than the 8. I remember Mark commenting about just having trouble with the weather today. Just it seemed like the car just couldn't get settled in a area where he felt comfortable. Here we go, 17 looking at the inside, but runs too wide on the exit. It gives Mark his breathing room so he can breathe a little easy. Even though they weren't fighting for position, it's always when you have that car trying to get those spots back, it does put a little bit of pressure. So right now we're going to go look up our race leader, Eronam, as he leads the pack with his teammate Johan just following behind. By lap 10, you can see just how much of a gap has developed between first, second, and third as we reach the midpoint of the race. You can see third just coming out of the last corner as the 78 car crosses the start-finish line. So there we have all 3 cars going down the front straight, and as we enter turn 1, the 78 car has engine trouble and is just spewing smoke. I think he downshifted just a little bit too soon, not quite as severe as the 17 did earlier on in the race, so it looks like he's going to be able to limp it back to pit road. So the big question is, how many positions will he lose before he gets there? And how much time will he be lost? So we have a new race leader as the 87 car takes the lead away. I guess if you're going to lose the lead, better lose it to a teammate than to somebody else. So here we got the 78 car entering this tight back section, and the looks like the 6 car is about to catch up. Yep, there he is. We're riding along with third place. That is Rob Dunton. I think we said that right. And the number 6 car. And he is just all in that smoke screen. Boy, there's one thing you really just don't want to do is follow behind in the smoke screen for too long, because it just makes the windshield a mess, and it gets really hard to see out of later on in the race. So it looks like the 78 car will only lose one position on its trek back to pit row, but we can see the rest of the field coming up quickly. So on the bright side, all the cars do get one fast repair, so time for incidents like this is minimal. So hopefully the 78 will be able to get back out on the lead lap without too much issue. So we got a new race leader. Johan is leading with the 87 car, and definitely didn't lose any time to the number 6 that's now in second place. You know, it's always one of those things when things go wrong in a race, you just hope it's not you. By the time we reached lap 20, the 78 car was finally able to catch back up to traffic as he makes his bid for, I think this is 6th place. No, I'm sorry, 5th place. So Horsley is just trying to hold it off as it comes to the last laps of the race. This is one of those things that just makes you nervous. You know you want the points, you want to keep the points, but at the same time you know you have an extremely fast car behind you who wants those points just as bad or more so than you do. So it puts a lot of pressure. 00 goes through the second, or I guess is the third hairpin, and just gets a little bit too loose, and the 78 just slides by. So the 00 is not going to be able to take 5th place after all. At the end of the race, Johan just takes the win, and not too far behind. Rob, being the SOR newcomer for the race, takes a nice 2nd place, and then Mark in the number 8 car takes home 3rd. Despite Eero's best efforts to gain another position, he just didn't have enough time to catch SOR newcomer Trip Smith as Trip takes home the 4th position, and then Eero takes 5th. It's really good when you qualify well because it gives you a little bit of a buffer, as Eero noticed with this race. So he ended up tying 2nd place in points for this particular race. As we look to the series points standings as a whole, Johan and Eero are tied for 1st. Because Johan took the win, he is sitting in 1st in points per SOR rules. So just as a reminder, we will not be racing this weekend, but we will return to race again for race 3 at Okayama International Circuit. We will be running the full layout, and that race will be on the 11th of July 2015, with the lobby opening at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So we look forward to seeing you then. There are a couple of slots open for the series, so if you wanted to jump in late, it's not too late to get in and get some of those points. So until next time, keep it between the lines.